Hi guys, it's Sunday the 31st of May. Um, Checking in after a couple of weeks, which is good. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning um, on a bit of a chilly autumn morning in Melbourne. Gorgeous day yesterday, so took advantage of that and went for a nice long walk around Mount Lofty, which felt pretty good. My knees feeling a bit good. It still bugs me a bit, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and it's quite sore. But once it's warm and moving, it's good, and it's not really restricting me at all. So I think it'll be spot on once I give it a little bit more love and exercise. Really looking forward to getting into the pool when it finally opens again after coronavirus, because that will, I think doing some kick sets and stuff like that will give it that nice little bit of mobility and strengthening. That's not weight bearing. That's probably required. Pretty good couple of weeks. I've started making headway with the weight loss again. I was weighing at 133.4, I think, or something today, which is a 2 kilos of weight loss this week, and done it pretty easy. Like I'd say without weighing in, if I went back and looked at my, if I had to rate how clean and how perfectly I ate for the week, I probably would have only given myself a 7 or 8. And I think that's the frustrating thing is, I can actually get away with a lot and still lose weight. But if I get away with a lot, I put a shitload of weight on. There's obviously some weird, middle ground there where if I tip over one side, it's bad, and tip over the other side, it's not good. And I suspect, a lot of it is, just, bursts of gluttony. I can go into a feeding frenzy like a shark with blood in the water, and have a day where I could easily eat 7 or 8,000 calories. So it's probably the avoidance of those days. But I've also been trying to stick to the time restricted eating a bit. Generally not eating until 10 or 11 in the morning. That's after having a dinner, probably by 6:30, 7 o'clock the night before. So trying to get sort of 16 hours of not eating, and I think that feels pretty good, and I think that's a big factor. And that period of restriction means that I can possibly get away with a little bit more later in the week. But generally, the change has been mental. Everything was out of control, and I think there's billions of people around the world that have felt that way over the last 4 or 5 months. It's just this general feeling of being out of control, of having freedoms taken away, of not being able to do what we want, and just not feeling in control of our income, our spending, just everything really. So I think that's what probably turned for me, and probably the takeout for me from this last week period is, control the little things. And for me, I started, making my bed every morning. And that one's been kicking around a while. I think there's a commencement speech by a General Stanley McChrystal, which is on YouTube, which is really good. And I got that one from that, because it's that little thing, that little sense of accomplishment. You've got something done. And the other one for me was doing the dishes before I went to bed. So not loading the dishwasher, actually running a sink and washing dishes, and then looking at the kitchen and saying I've done it. It's just these little accomplishments that set you up. Probably the other one was a commitment not to look at my iPhone before I got up in the morning. I could wake up at a good time that gives me enough time to exercise and get to work and be productive. But then I could easily burn 20 or 30 minutes, looking at the news headlines, reading about the riots in America, reading about the coronavirus, checking the coronavirus stats. There's plenty of time to do that, when I'm sitting at my desk at work. There's no need to do it in prime time in the morning. So bounce straight out of bed, make my bed, get out and do some exercise. It doesn't seem that hard, but it's made a big difference. I've tried also to just be a bit more regular and frequent in my exercise. Like lots of little bits. So always get up and exercise in the morning because I just function better. But been getting on my bike a bit more after work. Enjoying, well, as much as you can enjoy an indoor trainer, but I've enjoyed that and having a bit of a blowout. I've also started trying to wear my heart rate monitor whenever I do some exercise, because I just wanted to start tracking calories as another metric, because I thought it might be interesting to look at weight loss and exercise calories. Because I've felt for a while that it's not so much about your activity, but it's about what you eat. But yeah, I like data. So for example, the last couple of weeks, I've been a tick over 1,500 calories, probably 1,600. The last week, without really even trying that hard, 2,500 calories, and that's really the couple of bike rides after work, and also wearing my heart rate monitor in the morning. So, I'll be interested to see how that progresses over this journey, and see how closely it correlates with the weight loss. So first positive one of these in a while. I feel like I'm on it. I'm on it mentally. Some things have happened in a work sense that are pretty positive. So that interconnectedness of your life, your health and fitness goals, your work goals, your family goals. You have to look at it as a whole, and it's got to be in balance, and how you can get dragged down by one area and another area, and that's a negative way of looking at it. So you've also got to look at how being disciplined and sweating the small stuff in another area like your diet or nutrition, that can pull you out of a work funk, that can pull you out of relationship issues. So I guess, it's control your controllables. Shit that you can't control will drag you down, but it's how you pull yourself out of it. And my message of the last 4 or 5 months to myself is, don't let it all go. Control your controllables, and let the momentum from that help you deal with the stuff that's hard to control, that's possibly not going the way you want. But that's enough of a ramble for today. I'll check in another couple of weeks, and hopefully still upbeat and positive and moving in the right direction. Have a good weekend.